And we're back for another exciting in stereo edition of the greatest music podcast of all time. This is Front of House. My name is Mike Dawson. Welcome to the show. Today we got part 2 of our interview and performance with Adrian Brannan. Man, that last interview was fun, right? Well, coming up in this one, Adrian plays a love song to a horse. That's right. And channels Patsy Cline in a new song up here on Front of House. In just a few minutes, we'll get into Adrian. Check out her new record. It's called Desert Dwelling Mama, and you can find Adrian online at buckaroogirl.com. Pick up her music right there. I want to thank our sponsors here at Front of House. I want to thank Rode Microphones. Everything we do is produced with the Rode microphone, so thank you very much. I also want to invite you to join us tomorrow night for another episode of Front of House Live. We're going to be sitting at the bar in the North Hollywood Hideout, and we are going to watch the video and performance from Adrian Brannan. Every 2 weeks we do Front of House Live, and that is on YouTube. Best way to find it is follow us on Twitter at FOHPod, or you can go to YouTube and search this. Search FOH space POD, and we'll come up right there. This season of Front of House is dedicated to our dear friend Jenny Pagliaro, half of the duo Roses and Cigarettes. The new album from Roses and Cigarettes, I keep talking about this. It's called Echoes in Silence. This CD lived in my truck for 3 months, and I listened to nothing else when I drove. 3 months is a long run on a CD, especially one that's the second album from a band. I mean, God bless Texas. This is some voodoo magic. This is called Bones on the Ground. Roses and Cigarettes from Echoes in Silence, Front of House.
I hear you pulling down my drive. Dirt begins to fly. Hear you pulling down my drive. Dirt begins to fly. Told you not to come around here no more. Told you not to come around here no more. Yeah.
So good, right? Echoes and Silence, the name of the record from the band Roses and Cigarettes. That one's called Bones on the Ground. Yeah, fuck you, death. All right, my name is Mike Dawson. So good to be here with you. Thank you for listening to the Stereo Music Podcast. Again, I need to remind you, do not listen to this on your phone. Get yourself a good pair of headphones, a good stereo pair of speakers, or listen to it in your car on your way to and from work. This is a hell of a jam, my friends. It's Front of a House. Before we get into the interview with Adrian Brannan, I want to give you a little commentary on something. I don't know if you saw it, but a few weeks ago there was a story in the news that Live Nation is accused of selling concert tickets directly to a StubHub or a third-party ticket reseller. And everybody's all up in arms about it. Now, the news story that I saw said that Live Nation, in collaboration with band management, and they were very, very careful to say that the bands weren't involved and the bands didn't know this was happening, but they would get StubHub to purchase so many tickets at an inflated price, and then StubHub would turn around and, of course, sell those tickets for 10 times their value and make tickets more scarce and harder to get. Now, do I believe that the bands were completely unaware of it? No, I think that's bullshit. I think the bands knew. I think as soon as Napster came around and made all music for free for everybody, everybody got used to it, and the music industry is still trying to fucking catch up. So if they sell a bunch of tickets to StubHub, and that means you got to pay more to see a show, you know, it sucks. Yes, it sucks. But that's the business of music these days. We've taken away artists' ability to make money from the sale of their songs. So any good manager, any good businessman is going to look for another way for that band to get paid. Don't like it? Go to bands' individual websites and buy their records there. You can buy Roses and Cigarettes, Echoes and Silence at rosesandcigarettes.com. You can buy Adrian Brannan, Desert Dwellin' Mama at buckaroogirl.com. Let's get into it. Adrian Brannan is Front of House. Welcome back, friends and neighbors, to Front of House in Los Angeles, California. Recorded live at the North Hollywood Hideout. Our guest, once again, Adrian Brannan.
Sinking low, a cool breeze blows here. Let me air you back. You dip your head, the water's cool, and it's home again. My old bay friend. You carried my gal when she was young. Now brown children call you friend. They climb around, your ears and you cock a hip and dip your head, my old bay friend. No meet again. Carry me back to the winds of time and yesterday when an old man was still young and you were just a little bronchi. Carry me back to the times of yesterday, to young bodies, wild hearts, and not caring. Look at us now, we're both old and broken down, my old bay friend. I know we'll meet again. You followed me out Wyoming way, Oregon, and Idaho. The terrain, it took a while, but boy, we won us some shows, my old bay friend. No meet again. Wire cuts busted and bruised, shaking, wasted, nothing to lose. small town girl who became my whole world. Couldn't count all the miles we've trotted, the cows we've roped in circles allotted back when we were young. And pain and tears were our everyday song. My old bay friends had to meet again. They carry me back to the winds and time and yesterday when an old man was still young. And you were just a little bronchi. They carry me back to the times of yesterday, to young bodies, wild hearts, and not caring. Look at us now, we're both old and broken down. My old bay friend, I know we'll meet again. My old bay friend, I know we'll meet again.
Adrian Brannan is front of house. Adrian, there's so much substance to your songwriting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't believe in bubblegum. I hate that.
Wow.
I really hate it.
I mean, I could sit here and just listen to you sing and play guitar, and you could sing about bubblegum and lollipops, and it'd be just fine.
I got a jive M&Ms on my floor, my toes are painted. No.
But there's so much more to it. I mean, and we're talking... I blame everything on science. So there's a science to songwriting.
Absolutely.
And the songs build when they need to. They dissipate at the right time. There's the right amount of silence. There's the right amount of breath.
Oh, really?
And you give me a bridge every time I need to cross a river.
I didn't always do that. Sometimes I left you hanging and made you swim across it.
Really?
Highway 80, the first album when I was 14, I was so ensconced in Bob Dylan that I literally just was like, life is a ballad. Let's sing Hurricane over and over and over again. I was 8 when I discovered him, and it was like, I'm going to just write ballads all the time. And there was no, don't bore us, get to the chorus. There was just like, no, I will tell you a story, and you will sit down and you will listen. Yeah. And 7 minutes later, it'll all be over. So that's actually kind of a recent thing. And I don't know where it came from. I don't know when it happened. It wasn't orchestrated at all. It just kind of was like, oh God, no, that needs something there. Like, I got to go somewhere with it. I hate it when songs don't go anywhere. They got to, like, we're on a trip. Take me somewhere.
Don't bore us, get to the chorus. That's so Nashville cliche.
It's so true. It's so true. Everybody's like, you got to get to that chorus really quickly. And I'm like, wait, you guys think about how you write, really?
But there's a serious catch and release to your songs. Throughout the whole thing, it's just bringing you in and then giving you a little rope, and then I'm bringing you back.
It's called sliding your dallies when you rope horseback.
Okay.
So if you rope with riata, which is a rawhide rope that you make out of another cowhide, it'll break if you don't slide your dallies. So you give a little bit to the cow, and then you shorten up, which means you collect some of that rope and you get close to her, and then you let out a little bit so that it's easy on everybody. Should kind of be the same way with the song.
That's perfect. That is just so perfect.
It all comes back to roping and cows.
Interesting story. You were talking about Highway 80. That was not that song, right? Was that
no,
that song? Okay.
That is a song called My Old Bay Friend, and that's actually on the new album.
I wanted to ask you, My Old Bay Friend.
Yes.
What do you mean, bay?
So bay is a color. It's a brown horse, basically.
Thank God.
My dad always has called horses brown horses. It doesn't matter if they're paint, if they're white, if they're palomino, if they're red, if they're black. It's a brown horse.
Okay.
Like literally, it's one of those weird things. He'd be like, "Go catch that brown horse," and you look out in the pasture. There's like 1,200 brown horses out there, and you go, "Which one?" He goes, "Oh, the little brown one." It's like, I know I'm being set up here. Like, this is not cool, Dad. But I had this little brown horse when I was a kid, and it was the first horse my sister ever started. And my sister is this incredible horsewoman. She's amazing. She's my hero. She's old big sister. And she just did a terrible job with the snow. She did a great job starting this horse, and we're such horrible horsemen at the time. We didn't know what we were doing. We're kids. We just probably ruined him, and he never would have won any competitions for how he looked. He kind of looked like he was put together spare parts. Like whoever created him went, all right, there's a giraffe part, and there's an elephant part, and there's a cow part, and there's a horse part. And we're gonna call you Skipper W. But he was this really huge part of my childhood. And I used to live in a 14-foot teepee, a traditional lodge.
Outside of Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, and my family had property, and so I basically moved out of the house. I think I was 9 or 10 when I bought the teepee, sold a bunch of puppies and bought the teepee. And, well, traditionally, this lodge would have been hauled by a horse. So I hooked up the poles to this horse. My mom will forever tell the story of looking out the front window and seeing me. She says it looked like a helicopter. And this horse, he's got two 20-foot poles on either side of him, and he's just spinning around and around. And I'm going, no, it'll be okay. Really, trust me. I've never done this before, but it'll be okay. And he turned out to be this great horse that, you could rope off of, and he hauled that teepee around for years for me. And he was my buddy. And you don't get very many of those. It's like... Yeah. It's like that equine relationship that you find. You don't get that a lot, especially if you're as terrible of a horsewoman as I am. Like, they look at you and go, oh, hell no, and run the other way. But
I just realized that song was about a horse.
Really?
It just
Really?
clicked right down.
I love that because he was my buddy, and so you didn't get the connection that he was a horse.
No, that was a love song to me.
That's so,
I just had that moment.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was about a horse. Cappuccino.
It's like when you look at the FedEx logo and you see an arrow in it for the first time.
There's an arrow in the FedEx?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, I've never noticed that before.
I just realized that song was about a horse.
We both had
that
serious
so
revelations right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to go find a FedEx truck. Oh, that's so bad.
Wow. Adrian Brannan is our guest, front of house. So much I want to keep talking about, but the reason why people listen to this show is for the music mainly, and we broadcast in stereo, play it loud and proud, crank this up, rip the knob off. Let's hear another song, my dear.
All right. This is a song called 100 Pounds, and it's an older song, but it's about the lady bronc riders of the Old West. It's about women who broke the rules and didn't listen to boundaries and wore pants and, went and rode bucking horses in a rodeo with men and exhibition broncs and were tough and wore bows in their hair when they did it. And I just love that. You're 100 pounds. You're under slungs. Well, you're 100 pounds and you bronc busting bounds. You're 100 pounds. You're under slungs. You broke built your Montana peaked hats. Haven't run aground, shout the sounds of freedom on outlaws back. Let her buck gals grab some mane and tear some hair. Let her buck gals. This one ain't getting anywhere. Oh, let her buck gals. This life ain't dead yet. Let her buck gals. You just spur 'em in the neck. Bonnie, Vera, Rose, and Kate, Mabel, Bertha, and Lulu. You paved the old dirt road for girls like me these days when you're raised in the wild from a child, grown into a tough little woman riding anything that moves. Well, it ain't hard to understand. She can't quit the hard rough life, but when the years claim her bones, Bronx claim her life, she'll live on in our songs and the way we live our ladies then. My things have changed. I wanna ride the wind and I wanna rope crazy ideas. And they say think before you jump. But that first pitch out of the chute and their disapproval makes me grab my rope and stay. So let her buck gals, grab some mane and tear some hair. Let her buck gals, this one ain't getting anywhere. Let her buck gals, this life ain't dead yet. Let her buck gals, you just spur 'em in the neck. You're 100 pounds, you're underslungs. We're 100 pounds in your bronc busting belts.
Adrian Brannan is our guest, front of house. Most people forget that spur is also a verb.
Yeah, yes, they do. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, well, now, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, I mean, dig your spur in that
Right.
Bronx neck and ride him the hell out of that chute. That's what I mean.
Right.
I was 17 and read this book called Cowgirls by a gal called Teresa Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It was this great collection of stories about women that you'd never hear about otherwise. And there were all these old-timey gals from the late 1800s, early 1900s that they rode bucking horses in Wild West shows, the 101 Ranch. They went to Europe with Gene Autry. They did all these incredible things. They were trick riders and ropers and bronc riders, and they were amazing, and we don't hear about them. And I saw that book, and I went, hey, Mom, we should go ride bucking horses. And she was like, no. And I was like, I'm going to go get on bucking horses. And I did. And it was really fun for a lot of years. It was really fun. But then I'd go to places and I would offer to sing the anthem. And so I'd either sing the anthem and do a show for entry fees, or I would pay and then just go sing while people drank beer out of the trucks and went and had a good time. And I got on my last bucking horse in Texas a long time ago now, and I broke my left hand, which is why that pinky is that way, which is why I can reach so far.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, it's very weird. It's a weird pinky, and it doesn't. It's hilarious.
It's like, folks, if you're not seeing this, she has twice the normal space between her ring finger and her pinky.
It's a weird pinky.
It's a guitar player's dream.
It wasn't at the time because I had a 2-hour show after that where I was opening for a really big Texas country band, and my hand swelled up to the size of a damn football. And it was like, at the end of those 2 hours, I went, I think I'll choose music over bucking horses because I'm not going to be a bronc rider, but I'll be a singer.
See, what you do is you say, I rode bucking horses until they made them wear helmets. Fucking pussies.
You know what? I never wore a helmet. I never wore a vest. And I always laughed at those guys. And now when I wake up in the morning, I go, God, I should have worn a vest.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have worn it. I wish I had worn it.
Oh, man. So you got your own book about
I do.
cowgirls. It's called Dear Cowgirl.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dear Cowgirl. It was taken actually off of a weekly post that I do on social media. Mm-hmm. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I like to use the word survivor. I think it's I encourage people to use the word survivor. And
I endorse it.
It's a good thing. And I came out in this national publication magazine called Western Horseman, and it's the first time I know of, and I've researched it a lot, that anybody's ever spoken up in the Western industry about abuse or anything like that. And it opened me up to a lot of criticism, but it also started this conversation. And I had a woman write me, and she was in a really dangerous situation, horrible situation. And she wrote me on Facebook, actually, and said, I don't know what to do. And explained to me what was going on. And I couldn't think of, at the time, how to say what I thought she should do or impart any help or offer to do anything. And I sat down to write her, and instead of saying her name, I wrote Dear Cowgirl. And a few weeks after she was safe, she got out. She is now living a very vibrant, happy life, and I'm still in touch with her. And she's safe. And I asked her a few weeks after that, can I post this letter that I wrote to you? Because there were no like identifying factors. It was basically a poem that I wrote to her, which looking back on it now, I feel kind of guilty about. Like, hi, you're in a dangerous situation. Here's a poem. Like,
well, whatever it was, it helped her.
It did. And it kind of created something because people started writing me and saying, oh my God, I've experienced this. And I know exactly what you're talking about. And now Dear Cowgirl has become about being you and about the fact that we all struggle with the same things. We all look at ourselves in the mirror and don't like certain things that we see. We all struggle with relationships with our mother or, you know, somebody in our life. We all hate doing certain things and have passions that we never tell anybody and secrets. And we're all just the same. We just don't talk about it. And I just decided to start writing about those things. And the second I started putting them out there, people went, yeah, I feel that way too. But I just didn't know how to say it. And so it's kind of fun because I get to share every week. I write the poem the night before and I only post what I'm feeling or struggling with at that time. And it's amazing because I get women that write in and go, I was feeling exactly that same thing. And that makes me happy because.
So you've started a conversation that really has not been had out in the open in the cowboy world.
Not within our culture. You know, it's really, it's been kind of an interesting progression as well within the last even couple of years as I've become more open about it because, you know, I talk about things like that. I don't trigger warning here but I don't think rape jokes are funny. I don't think jokes about beating your wife are funny. Mm-hmm. I don't think jokes about beating your husband are funny. I don't think you beating your dog is funny either, but I'm worried about the people within our community because we don't talk about it. And we have this idea of, again, it's the cowboy in the white hat. He's the iconic great American cowboy or cowgirl, you know, right, coming to save the day. And they're human. This happens without discrimination of what culture you're a part of, what race you are, what your religion is, what your sex is, whatever. There's nothing that says that you're not the next person that this could happen to. And I always kind of think, you know, I was 14 when the first bad thing happened to me. And I wish somebody had been saying something so that I felt that I could come and talk to them. And I don't want there to be another little girl or boy that experiences something and doesn't feel like they can get out of it or have help or that it's okay to say something. And within the cowboy community, yeah, makes me a feminist. I think it makes me just a human, but you know.
Oh, yeah, I'd go for human.
Yeah, I've heard, I had a couple of guys one time go, well, you're just some freaking feminist, aren't you? And it was like, yeah, let me go get my t-shirt. Hold on. Yeah.
The book again is called Dear Cowgirl, and you can get it at Adrian's website. The website is buckaroogirl.com. Again, and across all media, Buckaroo Girl is where you're going to find Adrian Brannan. We were talking just a few minutes ago about the song Highway 80.
Yes, sir.
And that is the song that while I was listening through your music on your website today, I had that song playing in my control room where I'm getting ready for the show I'm producing. And there's another person in my control room with me, and some other person is yelling something. And all we hear is I'm playing your music really loud. And I'm like, fuck. All right, this guy needs something. I better pause the fucking music so that we can figure out what this asshole wants. So I paused the music. I'm like, go see what the fuck he wants. And he goes, no, I just want to know what you were playing. That song's awesome. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That song was Highway 80.
You're playing, really?
Yeah.
You're playing cowboy music in Hollywood,
yes,
in North Hollywood.
Yes.
I love it. Oh,
yes,
my God.
And the guy who loved it was like a total fucking hipster, skinny jeans. Fucking skinny jeans, dude. Yeah.
I love it when people...
And you were 14 when you made that record.
Yeah, I was 14. And I was really old when I made the next one. I was 17 when I did the next one.
Ooh, easy.
I mean, I was getting up there in years.
About retiring.
I was like, okay, I mean, we've had a good run, but we need to start thinking about a savings account and, retirement and dental.
Well, I want to hear another song, and I know everybody else does too. Again, the website is buckaroogirl.com. That's where you're going to find Adrian Brannan. But right now, shut your mouth and turn up your ears. Adrian Brannan is front of house.
Patsy is always the answer when you walk by with her. My late nights and empty bottles serenaded by vinyls. She speaks of love and broken hearts and all of the things you and I are not. And then the end of the record comes, and I turn it over before it's done. And I fall to pieces each time I hear your name. And I fall to pieces. How can I ever be the same? And you tell him, Klein, I'm telling you, no man ever paid me no mind till I heard Dolly, Loretta, Emmylou, and you. Oh, that feeling when I'm lonesome, that feeling when he's gone, that feeling when the rain comes, you are never home. And I fall to pieces each time I hear your name. And I fall to pieces. How can I ever be the same? I'm falling all to pieces. I'm falling all apart. Of a man that loved two women. But if he'd take my hand, well, I'd sell all my records to keep yours for the shelf, and take it out one day when we're old and by ourselves. And I fall to pieces each time I hear your name. And I fall to pieces. How can I ever be the same? Well, ladies stick together, and I'm on the losing end of a man that loved two women. But if you take my hand and say you're my saving grace, I wish I could say it to your face. Patsy is always the answer when you walk by with her. Did a love song to a bay horse. Now I did a love song to a woman who's been gone way too long.
That is a hell of a tribute.
Thank you.
Wow.
I love Patsy. God. Patsy's my gal.
You have a little bit of Patsy Cline in there.
Really?
Yeah. I think you allowed yourself to show it this time.
I really...
In this song especially.
Yeah, I really... You know, it's funny. I think about all the music that we don't have from her that we should have had. That's happened with so many musicians. But you think about what there could have been
Oh,
from Patsy. If she was still around, country music might be very different if that woman was still here going, no, here's how you do it.
Yeah.
We're not doing this cutesy stuff. We're doing songs with meaning.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't mention to our listening audience that Adrian Brannan appeared on a season of The Voice.
I did.
On television.
I did.
Those videos you can see up on YouTube.
But dear Lord, don't go watch them.
Crush it. Yeah.
They're
interesting.
It was an interesting experience. It's one of those experiences that, like, you don't get to choose your song. You don't choose anything that you do. And it was so funny to realize that it was, in fact, reality TV.
Oh, it's scripted. It's
I had
totally
no
scripted
idea.
reality. Yeah, no, there is no reality
It was
TV.
so funny. I'll never forget, like, doing an interview, and I actually know that I can say this because I was very thorough in my research once I got there. But, like, I'll never forget somebody going, "You can cry if you want when we talk about this." And I was like, "No, I'm good." And they're like, "No, you can cry." And they kind of looked at me sideways, and I went, "I'm good, thanks." And they go, "No, but really, you can cry." I was like, okay, now I'm really not going to cry. Like, I'm good. I just want to go and have fun.
Right. I just want to sing some fucking songs.
Yeah, I just want to do music, man. It was a great experience, though, as well, because I realized who I'm not. I totally did. It was, it was one of those moments that you go, okay, I'm trying to be somebody that somebody else wants me to be. And I kept a little bit of myself. I tried to, I think, but it was also one of those moments that you just go, oh, I'm not a puppet. I'm not going to dance. I'm good. Like, I'm going to go make cowboy music.
I know who I'm not.
I do. I don't,
A room full of feminists are snapping their fingers right now.
I might not know exactly who I am, but I do know who I'm not.
Oh, I love it. But overall, now I watched American Idol when it was first starting, and they had all the people on there who were absolutely horrible. And it was so much fun to watch the pain in these people who obviously weren't going to get on the show. And then when they took all of that away and it was all, feel good, we're really just going to focus on the things. I kind of subscribe to Homer Simpson. Why do we need new music? Everyone knows Rocket Cheap Perfection in 1973.
Oh my God, I love it.
So it's why do we need new bands?
Because it's a weird world that showcasey reality TV, and I'm not saying that I don't care for it, because I do, actually. I'm with you. I think it's funny to go watch those things sometimes, like the top 10 worst things. And I know that I was that to a lot of people, which is totally cool, because it's music and it's a live performance. But it's also amazing to watch those people that we laugh at and what they go through. Because I got to see some of those people backstage, and they were crushed. I mean, their lives were over. And, like, that broke my heart, because for me, I left and I went and took care of about 60 head of cows in the Utah wilderness, and did my music and had a great, fun career that I love to go back to. And I think it was that pivotal moment for so many people. And to me, it was like, cool, pivotal moment's over. I got shit to go do. Like,
right.
Like, that's nice. Appreciate it. I gotta go.
So how far did you get on the show?
I got to the blind auditions, and I didn't get a chair turn. Okay. And I shouldn't have, because I didn't give my best performance that night. And I'm totally cool with that. You don't always give your best performance.
Fucking bravo.
But, like, and I'm totally cool with saying that, because I own when I don't do things well. I believe in changing as a human and doing better the next time, because I'm my father's daughter. Like, that's what I believe in. Didn't give my best performance that night. But there was a lot of people that didn't even get on the show that were 10 times what I could ever even imagine being. There's a woman that's from Malibu, Ariana, and she had the most incredible voice in the world. Incredible performer, beautiful story, huge advocate for women in a way that I could never even dream of. And she should have been on that show. She would have killed it. And she would have been a hero to the nation, literally. And she didn't go on.
Well, what's that? You know, I mean, there was actually a guy on a previous episode of Front of House, Kyle Turezzi, who goes by the artist name M. the Heir Apparent. Check him out on a few past episode of the show. Anyway, he tried out for The Voice, and he didn't get a blind audition.
Yeah,
and he spoke about that.
Yeah,
and you know what? It's a world where it's like,
it's a conflict.
You have this shot, and you see everything map out in front of you. You see your life unfold, and you go, if only.
I think
one thing I can get through. All of this is going to happen. Because you didn't.
No, honestly, like, this is so pathetic of me. I showed up to an audition in a room of a ton of people for fun. People for forever have been telling me to go do this. And they reached out to me first and said, hey, we want you to come on the show or come audition for the show. And I did. And it was like not until I got in the room in a pair of really dirty men's Levi's and a cowboy hat that I realized, oh my God, I don't belong here. And they loved what I did. I took a Pretty Reckless song, you know, oh, heaven knows she belongs way down below, way down below. And I kind of bluesed it up and I sang that just for fun because who cares what happens? And they loved it. And it was like, oh, shit. Like, that just worked. Oops. And then, you know, you go through all these other things and there's all this emotion. And for me, like, screw fame. Sorry to be crass, but screw it. I like good music. I like music. And I think that's kind of what The Voice taught me was, who gives a damn about being famous? I don't want to be. I don't. I want to make good music. I don't care what people think. I just want to make good music that makes people joyful or feel something or feel like they're home when they listen to that music. I don't want to be on a cover of a magazine or something. I want young girls to go, you know what? No, screw you. You don't get to treat me that way. And I want men to go, you know what? Yeah, I'm a feminist too. And I want people to live their lives to the best possible life that it can be. And you don't get that by reality TV. So who cares? As long as there's good music.
More coming up with Adrian Brannan here on Front of House. But let's listen to a track from her latest release called Desert Dwelling Mama. The song is called Gunpowder on the Wind. Adrian Brannan, Front of House.
At the wire gate like a good girl should. On a big blue roan with the center's firewood. A smile for the crowd, roll a cigarette. Take another slug, 'cause whiskey makes stronger men out of both of us. Right for the bull camp, don't tell no one. Wait for a letter at the 5 and dime. Spend all your money chasing memories, like the Bronx and the nights and the dreams and me. And I wanna follow the sun. And I big man, you little boy, gunpowder on the wind. When I call you over, don't you drop and run. Better watch that man for a loaded gun. Find your center in the burned out sage. Run from the fire, it's a brand new day. Hit the road, hit the Steens, hit 80 going east. Run from a happy ending, but don't look for me. I'll be standing where the blue meets the burned out stage on a big blue road, writing a new page, and I wanna be the one, and I wanna be someone that comes between and can destroy. Call you a big man, you little boy, like gunpowder on the wind. Never saw it coming, never thought I could. Never saw the ground, saw the lights of town. Casino lit up and the fireworks flew, 'cause the man with the stare, the law, they said he knew. So don't look for me, don't call my name. I'm on a big blue road in the burned out sage. And I wanna follow the sun, and I wanna be someone who comes between, who can destroy. Call you a big man, you little boy, the gunpowder on the wind, like gunpowder on the wind, like gunpowder on the wind.
Adrian Brannan is front of house. Tell us about that song.
That song is about not being able to, and trigger warning, I always have to say, is it's about not being able to shoot your rapist. I've tried to think of really polite, great intros for that song. I have. I've really struggled with how to think of an introduction for that. And it's literally the most concise, simple explanation of that song that I can give you. And I think everybody gets something different for that song, because I've had a lot of women write me and a few men write me and tell me some things that they heard in that song. And I leave it up to everybody's interpretation.
God bless Texas. Adrian Brannan is front of house. We've got quite a bit of ground I really want to cover in this interview. I fear that we're not going to have enough time. So let's just talk really, really quick about your merchandise.
Ooh.
I looked at your website. Again, it's buckaroogirl.com. And you got a trucker hat that says Bronx Babes Burritos.
Yeah, they're the three best things in life.
Those are the three B's.
Literally, the three B's. Like, those are the essentials in life to me.
What's your favorite kind of burrito?
Asada burrito from the truck in Williams, California, at the bottom of the hill from the ranch that we used to live at.
Nice.
Cilantro, onions, red onions and white onions. A little bit of guacamole in there. Asada. Squeeze a lime on it. Yeah, it's just perfection. It's all bow to the burrito.
I can't remember the place, but there was this place in Santa Barbara that I always went to. I don't remember the name, but they would, in Santa Barbara, Ventura, in the Southern Kohler, California area, they make burritos the size of small children.
Literally.
Yeah. And what I would always do is go to this one particular place.
Okay.
And I would say, I want the wet burrito, but I'd want to make it chimichanga style. So they would have to put a burrito the size of a child into a full-on drainage rack into the oil and deep fry that motherfucker and then cover it with sauce. But then it's a very, very close second, and this place doesn't exist anymore. Both of these places. A breakfast burrito at the Cantina in Isla Vista or just a regular child-sized chicken burrito.
Child-sized.
From our favorite place was Tio Alberto's, Uncle Albert's in Isla Vista. But the greatest thing about Southern California is all the great burritos.
The food, you can stop at any corner and just have heaven in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. And a big rule that I like to tell people, a lot of people go for the place that's got the real flashy on the outside. Lots of neon.
Go for grungy. Go for
the place
grungy.
that looks the worst on the outside.
Because the inside's going to be just absolute joy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's science. Why are they open? How are these people in business? Their front of their business looks like crap. What the fuck is that? Exactly.
Because
go
people
there
know.
And eat.
Yeah. I always follow like the dudes that look like they work outside, that got boots on.
Find out where they,
I follow them like, okay, follow the ant trail. Where are they going? I'm going to find where the end of this rainbow is because I know they know where the good lunch places are. Because people who work outside, you're not going to let yourself have a bad lunch break because that's joy in the middle of the day when you've been outside working.
and if you're spending money on a burrito, which these days burrito inflation. I mean, let's talk about burrito economics.
I've seen it used to be
they've skyrocketed
$3 to $4. I'm seeing $6 and $7 now.
Exactly, $3.95 used to be that was standard burrito price. Now we're at $6.95.
$6.95 for a small child burrito.
That is 100% increase in the cost of burritos. Well, it's like 85, but still.
But let's look at the other side. I mean, what is your joy factor percentage on the other side of that?
Well,
how much joy?
It certainly isn't 85% more than it was 10 years ago. It's the same amount of joy, which is very joyous.
See, I'll even give up like maybe one coffee a week to give to the burrito fund because
you have a burrito fund too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Asada is life. We must protect it.
Put that on a t-shirt. Let's talk more about the merch because I was looking at your merch here and you were telling me a story earlier.
Oh gosh!
About a piece of merchandise, and I love this. I love this piece of merch because it's just very in your face. Fuck you, deal with it. Let's start a conversation type of merch, which everybody seems to say we need to have a whole bunch of conversations. Well, you made a hat. It's a red hat, and it says "Make America Cowboy."
Oh yeah!
Again.
Oh yeah! It's
tongue in cheek. Tell me. Let's talk about it.
It's a conversation starter. It's hilarious. It's actually funny because now it's getting ripped off by boutiques. I mean, the world wide over. And I swear I won't name them, but lady in Texas, you know who you are. It's hilarious. They blew up the past couple of years. And I thought it was freaking hilarious. It made me giggle. And if things make me giggle, I want the rest of the world to giggle too. I was in a Starbucks the other day though. And I was wearing one of our new hoodies. It says "Make America Cowboy" again, right across the chest. And these two guys just walk over. And they're like in their mid-50s probably. And I have my computer. I sat down. I got a cup of coffee. I'm going to go to work. We'd been moving cows and stuff. And there's no internet at the ranch. So I went to the Starbucks to go and use the internet so that I could do my work. Because I'm running a business as well. You don't just get to go, roam the prairies horseback. Right. You got to take care of business as well. Right. And I go sit down and these two men proceed to scream at me for almost 2 minutes. I mean, raised voices, the entire Starbucks goes quiet. A couple of guys stand up, like they're kind of going, okay, shoot, what do we do? Do we help her? Do we grab, and I just kind of sat there and smiled and waited it out. And, they got done and it's like, sir, read the sweater. And he kind of awkwardly stares at my chest for about 5 seconds, turns bright red, looks up at me and goes, "Oh, can we buy your coffee?" No, you may not buy my freaking coffee. You can leave. You just screamed at me. Yeah, you just screamed at me for almost 2 minutes. No. And it was like such a funny moment for me because I've had people tell me they've worn the hat and they've been screamed at. I have too in my post office. I was wearing it in Ventura, and this woman comes up to me and it was there was a lot of political, shall we say, turmoil happening, and she comes up to me and she just gets in my face and goes, "You are the freaking problem with this country."
Oh, fuck off.
And I finally, and she was probably, late 40s, early 50s, something like that. And it was like, okay, I get having ideas and beliefs that you stick to, but I also believe in being not a shitty person. Get out of my face. But it's so funny because people won't read it. They'll just see it's red and white. Oh, there's that make word in there. I'm going to come
exactly.
And it's so funny for me because I'm like, I'm the goddess of discord. Like, this is so funny. Like, did you really just scream at a 20-something-year-old woman at a Starbucks for 2 minutes? Like,
And you always have the last word.
Always, because it's like, read the shirt.
They have nothing else to say after that.
No, and it's so, because it is how you take it. Literally, to me, it is how you take it. Whatever you want to make of it, that's what it is. Like, it's a funny slogan, and I get a kick out of it, and I love seeing it. I love seeing it around. I've been driving before and seen people driving towards me on ranch roads wearing it, and I don't know the people, and it's like,
they're wearing your hat.
Yeah, and I've seen it all over the country, and I've seen pictures of it. And like during the Thomas fire, a bunch of my merch got out because my parents' house caught on fire.
Oh, no.
And, if you ever get a chance, don't let your house burn down. It's not cool. It's not a good idea. But this box of hats flew out of the garage where they were being stored at the time. And 4 months after December 4th, 4 months after, people were finding Make America Cowboy Again hats around Ventura and were wearing them. And I was seeing it tagged on Instagram and Facebook. And it was like, well, we're making Ventura a cowboy again, I guess. Like, it has a way of getting out there. I think it's doing it itself now.
Have you spoken to people have you come across someone face to face who's been wearing your hat?
Oh, yeah.
And they've got it from the Thomas fire?
I've talked to 2 people on Instagram that got them rolling around town on a road.
Oh my God.
And like picked it up and wore it. And so this woman tagged it and thought it was hilarious.
I found this on Main Street in front of the old Hells Angels clubhouse.
Oh God, she found it up above on Victoria, and it had blown out, and she picked it up, and it was like, did you pick that up in Ventura? Because I didn't know, like, the person had no, cowboy things in common. I was like, who is this person? She was like, I found it on Victoria. And it was like, thank you, Thomas Fire, for spreading the word. Like, oh my God.
Wow. Adrian Brannan, today has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Sharing this time with you. It's enlightening.
I've had a blast.
Fully entertaining.
Oh, well, good.
Everything about it. I could just listen to you play and talk forever. Unfortunately, we don't have forever for this show. So I just want to get out some plugs really quick. Once again, the website is called buckaroogirl.com. Go there. You can get these cool Make America Cowboy Again merchandise items. Also, the Bronx Babes and Burritos. I need that hat.
I actually have one in the car for you.
I'm buying it.
No, you're not. I'm bringing it in here, man. Long as you wear it when you go and buy a burrito, I'll be happy.
I will wear it every day of my life.
And I want a picture of it in front of a burrito taco truck.
You know what?
That's the only stipulation here. Is that
how about I get on a horse with a chick next to me and I'm eating a burrito?
Actually,
so we got it all.
Let's do the new album cover, man. Like, let's go do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I love this. Also, you can pick up Adrian's records at the website there, as I always tell everybody. Spotify and Amazon Music and streaming shit, that's all cool. That's all great. But if you really want to support the art, please go to the artist's website and buy the record there. It's the only way the artist gets paid. So buckaroogirl.com. Hey, Adrian, we got time for one more song. What are you going to take us home with?
Awesome. I'm going to take you home with a song called Fall For Me.
Let's hear it.
All right. My mind is set on you. My heart is too. And when you looked my way and the laughter shine in your eyes, I should have known all along you were in it for a
a song. But I want to know what gets to you. I want to make you mine. Open up, let me in. Hold my hand, lift my chin, and kiss me like I'm alive, like you're dying, like I'm all you need. Won't you just fall for me? You are all I want. I know I could be all yours if you just let love go on and take its course. You know I'd go with you if you asked me to. The road is long and it is hard. I will hang on, carry on if you're there on along. Open up, let me in. Hold my hand, lift my chin, and kiss me like I'm alive, like you're dying, like I'm all you need. Won't you just fall for me? If we could count the miles, meet in the space between, I'd throw away my map, oh, and I'd hand you the keys. Let you lead me on. We'll drive along. Hold me so close and never let go. Open up, let me in. Hold my hand, lift my chin, and kiss me like I'm alive, like you're dying, like I'm all you need. Won't you just fall? Won't you just fall for me? Won't you just fall for me? My mind is set on you. My heart is too. And when you looked my way and the laughter shined in your eyes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Isn't she just the greatest? That's Adrian Brannan on Front of House. Man, you can follow Adrian on her social media pages on Instagram and Twitter. The handle is A Buckaroo Girl. Check it out. Her Instagram page is awesome. Lots of roping and riding in there. And also go to her website, buckaroogirl.com. Pick up the new record, Desert Dwellin' Mama, as well as a book Adrian wrote. It's called Dear Cowgirl, Letters to Women by Adrian Brannan. I'm going to read you a passage from the book that stood out to me, even though I'm not a woman, but it makes sense. Dear Cowgirl, beautiful things are made from pressure. Sometimes when you feel like going on is just too much, the results you are looking for are just around the corner. Great things come from crazy ideas, not safety. Remember that the woman who follows the crowd will usually only go as far as the crowd goes, but the one who walks alone is more likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. The best way to lose your self-worth, dear cowgirl, is to view yourself through the eyes of others. We are so very lucky to have the real you around. Don't let her be lost. from Dear Cowgirl by Adrian Brannan. I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Front of House. But before we get out of here, your bonus track. And I think Adrian is such a fantastic role model and so empowering to women that I'm going to keep this show once again all girl, all woman. So your bonus track today is from a lady named Lily Kershaw. This is another Front of House flashback from February 2nd, 2014. Lily Kershaw joined me for Front of House in the Burbank bungalow. This one's called Saved, Front of House.
I tried to be happy, I tried to be free, I tried to accept you, accepting me, and I tried to escape the fate awaiting me, and take time's notes from my neck so I can breathe. And this could be just for fun, just for kicks, 'cause I've had one too many drinks, and this heart cannot be fixed, 'cause I follow feel like faith, and I'll dig until the day my life is saved, my life is saved, saved. Well, I played up my virtue and hid my vice. I'd only show you naughty if you first showed me nice, 'cause I thought I knew what a woman's worth was. I kept from you what you wanted most. It was fun playing God. This could be just for fun, just for kicks, 'cause I've had one too many drinks, and this heart cannot be fixed, 'cause I follow feel like faith, and I'll dig until the day my life is saved, my life is saved, saved. Die, 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 oh, oh, oh. This could be just for fun, just for kicks, 'cause I've had one too many drinks, and this heart cannot be fixed, 'cause I follow feel like faith, and I'll dig until the day my life is saved, my life is saved. Saved, 'cause I follow feel like faith, and I'll dig until the day my life is saved, my life is saved, saved.
Again, that's Lily Kershaw. And the song Saved, your bonus track on Front of House today. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for joining me this week. Every single Monday is a new Music Monday, and Front of House is delivered to you in stereo. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/front of house. For only $3 a month, you get one mastered MP3 every single week. And this week, I'm sending out the Adrian Brannan song where she channels Patsy Cline, because that is such a wonderful song. So that's in your inbox if you're a Front of House fan supporter at patreon.com/front of house. My name is Mike Dawson, back with you on Monday for another great in-stereo edition of the podcast. Until then, go see a live show and be good to each other, my brothers and sisters.